You are listening to the Why Smart Women podcast, the podcast that helps smart women work out why we repeatedly make the wrong decisions and how to make better ones. From relationships, career choices, finances, to faux fur jackets and kale smoothies. Every moment of every day, we're making decisions. Let's make them good ones. I'm your host, Annie McCubbin, and as a woman of a certain age, I've made my own share of really bad decisions. Not my husband. I don't mean him, though. I did go through some shockers to find him. And I wish this podcast had been around to save me from myself. This podcast will give you insights into the working of your own brain, which will blow your mind. I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which I'm recording and you are listening on this day. Always was, always will be, Aboriginal land. Well, hello, smart women. If any of you had been listening to the audiobook of Why Smart Women Make Bad Decisions and How Critical Thinking Can Protect Them, which we have played over about the last 10 weeks, you might like to tune in to the next 15 weeks and listen to the audio recording of my second book, which is Why Smart Women Buy the Lies and How Critical Thinking Reveals the Truth. So this is a continuation of the hapless character Kat, how she identifies the flaws in her thinking and finally makes better decisions. If you find yourself tuning in and you are perhaps in episode 3 or episode 4, by all means, go back to episode 1 and follow the narrative because it has a very strong narrative arc. So, relax, kick back, get yourself a cup of tea or a glass of wine and listen to the audio version of Why Smart Women Buy the Lies and How Critical Thinking Reveals the Truth. See you soon. Bye. Chapter 12. How many curses are there?
There's more than one curse,
says Michael. You're out to dinner with Michael. The people at the next table have been staring over each other's shoulders for the last 20 minutes, occasionally smiling at each other and nodding. Not a word spoken.
It's dynamic.
You say.
Sometimes there is one curse and sometimes there are many curses.
We'd go on holidays when I was a child and my mother would comment on how good the traffic was. Dad would hit the steering wheel with his hand. Why would you mention the traffic? Now you've jinxed us. It's the same thing, right? Curses, traffic gods.
I touch wood for luck.
You pull the corner of the tablecloth off the table. Touch the wood.
What do you need luck for?
For my job interview.
You'll be fine.
Also, what if I don't want another job?
Oh, okay.
Says Michael, cleaning a smear off his knife with a napkin.
What would you do instead?
You shrug.
You're not thinking about the crypto thing, are you? Did Charlotte talk you into trading crypto?
Your chest tightens. You stab at one of your prawns.
No, we talked about believing in myself.
He raises his eyebrows.
And trading crypto?
No, but, well, I am thinking about paper trading.
Paper trading?
It's how you learn to trade safely.
So you are thinking about trading crypto?
Paper trading is free, just pretend. No money changes hands.
Nothing's free.
Anyway, Charlotte's offered to pay Mrs. Balleri to come back and do a total curse makeover. She ruined proceedings by popping open a bottle of Moet.
At 7:30 in the morning. Boy, she likes a drink.
You put down your prawn.
See, why would you say that? People drink champagne at the airport early in the morning.
Cat.
If I want to investigate crypto, well, what's the problem? Charlotte has a conservative approach. I like the idea of maybe not spending the rest of my life in corporate.
If you don't want to get a job immediately, I'm happy to keep things going. Don't feel pressured to do something silly.
A bolt of anger shoots up through your chest.
Something silly?
I didn't mean it like that. Honestly, Kat, I don't want another argument. I hate arguing.
Are you being like this because of the eBay scam?
Kat, a lot of people have lost vast amounts of money with cryptocurrency.
You look at Michael sitting across the table. You've never noticed before, but his chin is weak. You don't like weak chins. Your father calls people with weak chins chinless wonders. You look down at your me-grob. In this moment, you can't bear to look at him. Michael pulls the bottle out of the ice bucket and refills your glass, then wipes the condensation off the side of the bottle. You notice he's wearing a cardigan, and not a fancy country road cardigan. It's an old man's cardigan. He has the chicken T-shirt underneath it. How have you ended up with this tedious, chinless wonder in a bad T-shirt and a cardigan when you could be independently wealthy, jetting off to the Maldives on a private jet?
Hey, did you end up getting the key back from Mrs. Kovacic?
You can try,
You want me to ask her?
if it matters that much to you.
The couple next to you still hasn't spoken. She's wiping the corner of her mouth with a napkin. He's looking at his phone. You wish you were them. The job interview. It's 11:55 a.m. You're sitting at a conference table across from a man and a woman. As soon as you'd entered the lift, you'd had déjà vu. It was just like being back at WWS. The interview is even on the 17th floor. That can't be a good sign. The woman, Trudy, is still flicking through your resume. You've already been here for 25 minutes. She has a deep chesty cough and a severe mouth. The man, Peter, is smiling at you. He is very thin and is wearing what looks like a new suit. He keeps drawing his hand across the lapel in an appreciative manner.
I'm interested to know,
Says Peter.
why do you want to work for this company?
Well,
You say.
I saw a brilliant post on LinkedIn from your CEO. I was struck by the sheer clarity and authenticity of her perspective.
Trudy coughs. What exactly did you like about it?
It was clear. I get where she's coming from.
Really, Trudy says. Where's she coming from?
I think she's coming from a very authentic place.
How would your co-workers describe you?
Says Peter.
Collegial, hardworking, a good communicator, a mediator. I'm very empathic. So also maybe an empath.
Trudy starts coughing again. You hand her your glass of water.
And finally,
Peter says, after what feels like 1,000 questions,
why did you leave your last position?
you look down at your hands clasped in your lap. They're sweaty. Why are you sitting in an office identical to the one you've left with sweaty hands? What are you getting yourself worked up about? Suddenly you wonder whether you really want to join another organisation like this and wait around for another Gabriel to ruin your life.
I couldn't embed demiurgic in the values.
I'm sorry, Trudy says.
Don't be.
You say,
Our values are resilience, bravery, and innovation.
says Peter.
How do you think you'd go enacting them?
No, Peter, says Trudy. Bravery is gone. It's now aliveness. She starts coughing again. You look out the window, then look back at Peter. You stand and pick up your bag.
Thanks for having me.
You say, like you're leaving a party. You walk to the door. Peter looks confused.
Miss Mitchell?
He says,
How can aliveness be a value?
you say. Peter smiles uncertainly. Trudy coughs. You shut the door behind you. Your heart is hammering, but in a good way. You feel invincible. You control the environment in which you exist. You do not have to work for a company that has aliveness as a value. You stride down the corridor. You actually look back over your shoulder like you're in a commercial and toss your hair. You imagine people saying, "Who is that sassy girl?" Sassy girl runs into Gabriel. You take the lift down to the foyer and exit to the street when you spot him sitting at a cafe. Gabriel Randall, alone. This cannot be a coincidence, you say to yourself. Riding high on the adrenaline of your triumphant job rejection, you take the seat opposite him.
Excuse me?
He says.
Hi.
You say, resting your chin on your hand.
How's your new job?
I'm sorry, I can't remember your name.
Katrina, you had me sacked.
Oh, hello. As I recall, I didn't have you sacked. Your role was made redundant.
Same.
Okay, I'm sorry that happened. How are things now?
I'm trading cryptocurrency.
Well, good for you. You know, things always work out for the best.
He looks back down at his computer.
Things didn't work out for the best for others on my team. 2 of them had to sell their houses, now they're renting. Not great in your 40s.
Yeah, that's tough. Anyway, nice to see you.
He picks up his phone.
Let's make a call.
A waiter appears. You order coffee.
Do you feel bad
Gabriel sighs, continuing to look at his phone.
About what, Katrina?
about screwing over people who'd been loyal to the business for years? About leaving it in a worse state than when you arrived?
Yes, I feel terrible. Do you mind? I've got to send an email.
I thought you had to make a call.
You stick out your chin in triumph. Gabriel slams his laptop closed and looks directly at you for the first time. His face has changed. The pleasant countenance has gone.
Oh, I remember you. You're the skinny, pretty girl from the 15th floor.
You are disturbed that in the middle of this ugly moment you are pleased at the compliment.
No, the 17th floor.
What the fuck do you want from me?
You don't know what you want. Your optimistic high immediately dissipates. Why are you pointlessly haranguing this man? What were you thinking walking out of that interview? You're in no position to knock back work. You have a huge mortgage and an enormous strata expense. You should go back up and say sorry you had a small stroke.
I just wanted you to know it was bad.
Oh, did you? And you would be better equipped to lead an organisation through change, I imagine?
You flounder.
Well, I wouldn't treat people like they're disposable goods.
You middle-class girls are all the same with your pretensions to the common good. When did you last do anything to help someone who was struggling?
I volunteer.
Is there anything more middle-class than volunteering?
You open your mouth to reply. He continues.
What do you drive, a hybrid?
Like you can talk.
I'm from Fairfield.
You can't help it. You look down at his R.M. Williams.
I had a rough start, and I pulled myself up by my bootstraps and got on with it.
Good for you. Not everybody can.
He shrugs.
Well, you might not approve, but we live in a capitalist society, not a caste system. If you want to get ahead, you can.
Thanks. I've read Ayn Rand.
Business exists to turn a profit.
He says, sitting back in his seat and putting his hands behind his head.
You may not like it, but at the end of the day, there's no loyalty, only performance.
Yes, I get that. Hence me being out of a job.
Bloated organisations where people are employed on a full-time basis to remember people's birthdays and send out cards are not sustainable.
For some employees, it was the only birthday card they received. Anyway, what's the difference between that and trying to get demiurgic into the values?
It was you who undermined demiurgic.
It's a stupid word. Anyway, I must be off. It's been terrific chatting to you.
As you rise from the table, he says,
You can't keep people in a job just because you feel sorry for them.
Tell that to Chen, who lost her job a month after her husband left her with 2 small children. She's an actuary. She's now working part-time in a shop. Also,
you say as you walk off.
Myers-Briggs is nonsense.
You would think that.
He calls after you.
INFPs have no imagination.
Susan socks. You get home. Porridge rushes into the bedroom and brings you the other of Michael's socks with Susan's face on them. You remember the anniversary when you'd gifted Michael the socks.
Isn't Susan your ex-boyfriend's cat?
He'd said at the time.
Yes, but she way prefers you.
He took them and put them on immediately.
I'm proud to wear Susan on my feet.
You wonder if the sock choice Porridge has made is deliberate. You have a brief tussle with Porridge over the sock, which he wins. Michael calls from the kitchen.
How'd you go?
Since the disastrous dinner, your relationship with Michael is operating at 80%.
I don't think I got the job.
You don't know that. I bet they loved you.
I really don't think they did. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
Also, I ran into Gabriel.
Gabriel, the Myers-Briggs guy who got you fired.
Yes, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
You take the laptop to the couch and open the trading simulator. Michael emerges from the kitchen and stands behind the couch looking over your shoulder.
What are you doing?
Just having a play.
Oh, I want to know your employment status.
Michael, I just have to go through these steps to get to the paper trading.
Okay.
He walks back to the kitchen.
You want something to eat?
No, I'm good, thanks.
You feel him wander past the back of the lounge again. You tense up.
Kat, I'm sorry, but why do they want to know your employment status?
I don't know. It's okay.
And your address?
Yes, my address.
Porridge jumps up next to you and puts his paw on the keyboard. Michael is now leaning over the back of the couch. Why won't the pair of them leave you alone?
Sweetie, that doesn't seem safe. Why do they want your annual income? Why do they need that?
You take your hands off the keyboard and place them in your lap. Sweetie sounds strange coming out of Michael's mouth. He's not one to use endearments.
Sweetie, I've just got to give them this information so I can get to the simulator.
Okay. Do you want a drink?
He goes into the kitchen. You hear the fridge open. Then moments later,
What are they asking for there?
he's back behind you. My God, he's like a ninja. You can feel his breath on your neck.
Michael, don't worry. I know what I'm doing.
Do you? How would you know if it's diversification of investments or hedging? It sounds dodgy.
Your chest tightens. You feel a glittery tension across your scalp. Michael pushes Porridge off the couch and sits next to you. He waggles the wine bottle.
Sauv Blanc?
This triggers an unfortunate memory of the hipster turning up after his 8-month absence, proffering wine and apologies. You stand up. The computer drops to the ground. Porridge runs into the bedroom.
No, I don't want to drink. It's Tuesday.
Okay, sorry, I forgot.
We've been together long enough that you should know I don't drink on Monday or Tuesday. Why doesn't what I do matter to you?
He looks up at you from the couch. You lean down and pick up the computer.
Do you mind if I have a glass?
You hug the computer to your chest and look at him.
Is this about the crypto trading?
You shrug. You're both staring at each other. You feel as though the distance between you is widening, like you're both standing on travelators at the airport going in opposite directions.
I walked out of the interview.
What? Why?
Because I wanted to.
What happened in the interview?
It was WWS all over again. I hated them. She coughed all over me and aliveness was one of their values.
Okay.
I'm trying to work this out for myself. Please let me do it.
Okay. I'm just trying to help.
I don't want to work in corporate.
Oh, Kat, I don't think you can replace a full-time job with crypto trading.
Don't tell me what I can and can't do.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
You're trying to control me. You're more controlling than you think. I can't make a move without you monitoring me.
Michael gets up off the couch, holding his hands in front of him like he's being held up.
Okay, I'll leave you to it.
He grabs his coat, puts the lid on Porridge and closes the door behind them. You burst into tears. Why is everything so hard? Why is Michael so negative? Why was that interview so horrible? Why is Gabriel Randall such a dick? You are trying to be self-actualized. Oh God, self-actualized sounds like self-help. Who have you become? You ring Charlotte. She turns up at the door 1 minute later. Hide the glasses.
Wow, you've been ugly crying. What's wrong? I brought champagne.
I want to learn to trade.
Charlotte raises her eyebrows.
Well, not in that state, you don't.
She goes to your cupboard and retrieves 2 glasses.
Where's Michael?
This provokes a fresh bout of tears.
He's leaving me to it.
Charlotte nods.
Okay.
He's walking Porridge, and if he comes back, hide the glasses.
Okay.
She says, handing you a tissue and one of the now full glasses.
What's up?
You blow your nose.
I'm overwhelmed. I finally got to the simulator site, and I'm lost.
Oh, God, is that all? I can totally help you with that.
Also, I walked out of a job interview.
Why?
I realised halfway through I didn't want their stupid job.
She clinks her glass on yours.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you.
I wish Michael was.
Oh, don't be too hard on him. He's just trying to protect you.
I don't need protecting. I'm not a baby. Also, I had a stupid argument with Gabriel Randall.
Is that the demiurgic guy?
Everything is stupid.
Did you tell this Randall guy he was stupid?
Sort of. Anyway, I'm just trying to get to the simulator and they asked me for all this information. I just want to get to the paper trading part. I wanted to feel like I'd achieved something today. Otherwise, it's all been a total cock-up.
Okay, it's all fine. You're a bloody champ. Let's get things set up, okay? First, keep your accounts separate.
You already told me that.
It's safer. Different lender.
Oh, God, no.
Go on, open an account. It's quick.
That's small passwords. I'm going to use the same one. I can't stand it.
No, you're not.
Charlotte smacks you lightly on the wrist.
Just do it properly.
God, if one more person tells you what to do, you'll scream.
Okay, jeez. Porr.
Kat, slow down.
Please don't tell me to slow down. Just tell me what to do next.
Okay, settle down.
Oh, don't tell me to settle down.
She tops up your champagne.
Password rules. Don't use a password that someone is going to guess. Don't use your pet's names.
But I can't remember anything else.
If you're going to use the name of a pet, don't use the pet whose name you regularly call out in public.
Well, that makes sense.
So not Porridge.
And then swap one number for a letter.
A what?
The S in Susan looks like a 2, so you can spell her name with?
You type in 2U, 2AN.
And then the first 3 numbers that spring to mind.
You type in 123.
And now, do not share your password with anyone. Not Michael, not Mrs. K.
You think Michael would steal from me?
Oh, I'm not saying that, Kat. You just trust too easily is all I'm saying.
Okay, that's done. Can you show me how to get going on the simulator?
Have you got it open?
You toggle to the simulator site.
Here.
You leave Charlotte with your laptop and go into the kitchen to pull some cheese out of the fridge. This elicits an immediate response from Susan.
Why
You say to Susan as you break off bits of cheese for her.
does everybody feel the need to handhold me?
Charlotte calls from the couch.
Here we are. You're live.
Thank you.
You return to the couch.
Now, please tell me you're not going to put any money in until you've done your research and tested your decision-making across a minimum of 100 paper trades.
Yes, I know 100 minimum.
In an uncharacteristic move, she punches you lightly on the arm.
Okay. I'll leave you to it, champ.
Michael's back. You are happily toggling between sides, imagining what it's going to be like shifting handsome profits from the trading platform to your freedom fund.
This is fun, Susan. I'm the captain of my own destiny.
You say. She licks your hand.
Thanks, my good madam, for your heartfelt congratulations.
The door opens and Porridge bounds in.
Hey,
Michael says.
you sorted?
Sorted.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry too.
You smile.
You don't need to keep me safe.
He picks the bottle, which you'd forgotten to bury in the rubbish bin, up off the counter.
I see Charlotte's been here.
I'm sorry. She forced me to drink.
He wipes the counter with the tea towel, then returns the tea towel to its rack and straightens it.
Just let me have a go. I think I know what I'm doing.
Now way too scared to say anything.
That's okay. We don't have to talk about it.
Okay.
He smiles. The last residue of ill humour skitters up through your chest and vanishes.
Cup of tea?
I'm too young for tea. A glass of Sauv Blanc. And make it a big one, please.
People drink champagne at the airport in the morning. Kat has an intuitive response to the job interview. She decides as soon as she enters the lift and realises the interview is on the 17th floor that the company she's interviewing for is going to be the same as WWS. Again, her gut instinct is based on her previous experience. It has zip to do with the facts of the situation. Confirmation bias then kicks in, ensuring that anything positive and different to the view she has created isn't going to hit her cognitive frame. Kat immediately dislikes the female interviewer based on no data besides her bad cough. We don't know whether Kat's decision to walk out of the interview will turn out well for her or not. What we do know is that her decision is driven by a strong feeling. Feeling something strongly is not an indicator that it's the right thing to do, it's just a strong feeling. Kat is then optimistically swept up in the narrative that she has a future in crypto. This is where commercial mythology meets magical thinking. Words such as crypto can become magic talismans in consumers' brains, with the possibilities embedded in the word far outstripping the reality. Kat is starting to enjoy the feeling of invincibility that cryptocurrency and other mechanisms like it offer. There is a plethora of commercial examples of how stories are built up around products or organisations, infiltrating consumers' brains and causing them to become acolytes and unexamined advocates. In Kat's mind, crypto is her future, so she unconsciously undermines the interview process. Then comes Gabriel. What does she want from him? Kat doesn't know herself, but if she stops long enough to analyse what she's doing, she'll realise what she wants is an apology. She's again hijacked by the illusion of transparency bias, where we think that our internal reality must be evident to other people as we experience it so exquisitely ourselves. Surely Gabriel must be aware of the hurt and pain Kat and her fellow employees have experienced, and surely he must be sorry. Gabriel is not sorry. As soon as he challenges her, she flounders. The invincibility fades, and she is left trying to defend her position. Gabriel does not see the world as Kat does. His perspective is completely different from hers. Our reality is king. It takes critical thinking to understand that our reality is our reality, whereas other people occupy their own realities. Drama? Who needs it? How do we get it so wrong when we're having an argument? What drives us to dig in our toes and exacerbate the drama? We do not listen. We may give the appearance of listening, But most people in the middle of a dispute are simply waiting for the other person to stop speaking so they can talk again and prove their point. They are not listening to understand, they are listening to reply. Remember, we look at life through an autobiographical lens. What's the point of these interactions? How much time do we spend in pointless dramas with the blind hope that the other person is going to see our point of view and either apologise or agree to our position? People do not change their minds by being attacked. All aggression does is push the other person further into defending their position. No matter the context, when it comes to conflict, we allow ourselves to be driven by the emotional part of our brain. We make quick decisions that are not always based in logic. In the interview, the encounter with Gabriel, and the disagreement with Michael, Kat is driven by strong blasts of emotion. Of course, there's some satisfaction in having your moment of truth with someone who you perceive has done you wrong, but you must lose all attachment to getting the response you want. Kat sees Michael's concerns as infantilizing. Every point he raises pushes her further towards this viewpoint. If she'd been able to tip into logic, maybe she would have seen that perhaps Michael's concerns are valid. Kat needs to find a job, but instead she is creating drama based on narratives in her own head. Lie detection. I'll tell you a thing or two. Most arguments are a waste of time. Before you launch at someone, go for a walk, drink a coffee, read a chapter of a book, and take a moment to work out what you want from the interaction. If it's clear you're not going to get what you want, maybe don't bother having the conversation. There's a fork in the road in every argument where you can decide whether you bail out or stick your oar in and keep going. Remember, once you've hit emotional top gear, nobody's listening and it's pointless to continue. Unless you like arguing, in which case, go for it. End of chapter 12. Thanks for tuning into Why Smart Women with me, Annie McCubbin. I hope today's episode has ignited your curiosity and left you feeling inspired by my anti-motivational style. Join me next time as we continue to unravel the fascinating layers of our brains and develop ways to sort out the fact from the fiction and the over 6,000 thoughts we have in the course of every day. Remember, intelligence isn't enough. You can be as smart as paint, but it's not just about what you know, it's about how you think. And in all this talk of whether or not you can trust your gut, if you ever feel unsafe, whether it's in the street, at work, in a car park, in a bar, or in your own home, please respect that gut feeling. Staying safe needs to be our primary objective. We can build better lives, but we have to stay safe to do that. And don't forget to subscribe, rate and review the podcast and share it with your fellow smart women and allies. Together, we're hopefully reshaping the narrative around women and making better decisions. So until next time, stay sharp, stay savvy, and keep your critical thinking hat shiny. This is Annie McCubbin signing off from Why Smart Women. See you later. This episode was produced by Harrison Hess. It was executive produced and written by me, Annie McCubbin.